Hello, good people. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker, coming back at you live once again from the Lone Star State with another edition of the Media Mike Speaks. And it is a hot topic, good people, a hot topic, because as you saw in the title, deceiving or lying to your partner would now be a crime in New York. And it is true. It is true. Deceiving your sex partner would be a crime under bill backed by New York Democrats. The game is to be sold, not told, or told and not sold. Either way, New York is on a roll. It must be a sin, because the Big Apple is at it again. So let's get to it. And I'm going to show you. This is no joke. Take a look at this. Obtaining sex through deception, concealment, or artifice could violate consent. Now we know artifice, meaning not real, artificial intelligence, or artifact. So something that's kind of made, ladies, you all know what I mean. We'll get to that. Gentlemen, YouTuber, ladies, you should take heed. No, a group of New York lawmakers is trying to redefine consent in a way that would make it a crime to be less than fully truthful with sex partners. Under the new proposal, antics now considered merely caddish or immoral, like lying to a prospective sex partner about one's relationship status, social standing, or future intentions, would count as criminal sexual misconduct. Are you serious? Yes, they are serious. Good people, they are very serious. Now let's continue. Trying to win over a date by saying you have a better job than you actually do, live in a nicer place, or went to a better school could become a crime if that date sleeps with you. Any half-truths or even omissions about your social or financial status could possibly count as artifice or concealment. This is a quote here, you see. So could lying or concealing information about one's race, ethnicity, religion, etc.? Yes, I would presume. Take a look at this. Someone might try to sue or press charges based on the idea that makeup, ladies, Botox, boob jobs, and similar measures to enhance one's appearance should count as illegal artifice that negates consent. Artifice, I mean. It also seems likely that people could attempt to use the law against transgender or gender non-conforming people, and they will use it against them. They will. Get people, and this is real, because they will. And it's happening. Now, let me give you the bill number. I'm going to give you this. So, you can look this up yourself, because this is real. Now, in the committee, Assembly Bill Alpha 6540, sponsored by Assembly member Rebecca Seawright, a Democrat from New York City, and co-sponsored by 3 other Democratic lawmakers, would amend New York State's penal code to define consent as freely given, knowledgeable, and informed agreement that is obtained without the use of malice such as forcible compulsion, duress, coercion, deception, fraud, concealment, or artifice. Good people, they're not playing around. Sex through forcible compulsion is already considered rape in the first degree under New York law. The biggest change Seawright's bill would have is on the state's law against sexual misconduct, and that's where they're going with this, good people. This is exactly where they're going with this, because we're going to get to it, because I'm just trying to figure out, who are they, the moral police? I guess they are. Self-proclaiming themselves as the moral police. So, let's continue. A person, let's say, and we're going to get to some examples here in a minute, but let's continue. A person becomes guilty of sexual misconduct if he or she engages in sexual intercourse with another person without such person's consent, or he or she engages in oral, sexual conduct or anal sexual conduct with another person without such person's consent, unquote. Thus, if consent is defined as sex obtained without any deception, concealment, or artifice, anyone who lies to or omits information from a prospective sexual partner would be guilty of sexual misconduct, a Class A misdemeanor, which is the highest misdemeanor you can get. C is the lowest, and we know B is in between. You don't want A or B on your record. C you can kind of play around with. It's best not to have any. But you don't want A or B. You know, A is going next to felony. That's next. Okay, people. Now, certain individuals, they argue that this could open the floodgates of criminal prosecution and civil suits involving any number of wrong but incredibly common situations among sexual partners. Telling a prospective sex partner that you're single when you're actually married or in a relationship would seem to fit the bill. So too, we're trying to get laid by professing more interest in a future relationship than one actually has. Women could be guilty for lying about contraceptive use or menstrual cycles, and men for lying about having a vasectomy. Good people, they are serious. My only thing is, who are they, the moral police? See, I keep repeating that. They are the self-proclaimed moral police. You let me know if you agree with this or not. Because, it does have some merit though. It makes, to me, my professional opinion, it makes people grow up. It holds them accountable. As it should be. What's wrong with being truthful to people? Let them decide after the fact. But people don't want to do that. Or should we have the freedom to lie and deceive? This is America, home of the brave, land of the free. Okay. The New York bill isn't the first time lawmakers have tried something like this. For a while, there's been a consistent but marginalized attempt to make rape by deception or rape by fraud crime. For instance, a New Jersey legislator attempted in 2014 to criminalize an act of sexual penetration to which a person has given consent because the actor has misrepresented the purpose of the act or has represented he is someone he is not. The attempt failed. That did. But this bill would redefine consent and therefore make it sexual assault if someone was less than truthful with sex partners. The ramifications of such a law are downright scary, and I agree it is. Now, let's talk about this. Anyone who lies to or omits information from a prospective sexual partner we just talked about would be guilty of a misconduct or as a Class A misdemeanor. Now, let's get into the examples I talked about earlier. So let's say, examine the ramifications of such a bill, which would likely open the floodgates. We know. For example, Joe Sixpack, example, good people, is in a bar on a business trip, leaving his 6-month pregnant wife at home. He sees a good-looking lady at the bar, buys her a few drinks, during which he tells her that he's single. Joe Sixpack. Let's continue. They retire upstairs for some after-drink activities, and in the middle of everything, she finds out he's married. Under the proposed law, that would seem to make him guilty of sexual misconduct, since he used deception in order to score some extracurricular sex. Yes, Joe Sixpack, under the law, if the bill becomes law, you would be charged. What about being involved in a longer-term relationship for someone who has wedding bells dashing through their heads? Things are going well, and the girl tells the guy that, she's looking for a long-term relationship and starts talking about a possible wedding, despite the fact that she has no intention of getting hitched. Down the road, she breaks off the relationship and tells the guy that she was never really interested in getting married. Once again, deception enters the picture. Ma'am, yes, you could also be charged. What if a woman tells her lover that she's on birth control, and when she's not, or a guy tells a lady he's had a vasectomy and Neither case is the truth. Once again, they are using deceit in order to gain sexual access. If this becomes law, good people, which I'm pretty sure it will, they can be charged. The list goes on and on. You tell a partner you're a vice president at a technology firm when you're really the opening manager at McDonald's. You live in a 20-room mansion in the suburbs when you live in your mother's basement, or you or you went to an Ivy League school when you graduated really from a community college. All to boost status in the eyes of a prospective partner. Yep, this would be considered sexual misconduct, and you could be charged. As Reason says, any half-truths or even omissions about factors such as social or financial status could be defined as artifice or concealment, or even lying about one's race, ethnicity, or religion. Good people, they are serious. Okay. New York, New York, big city of dreams. Now, lying or being deceptive in a relationship will now get you time, it seems. Now, when it comes to the king of liberal laws, we know how California get down. But it looks like the Big Apple is coming for the crown. Well, good people, sad to say, but that's it for today. And remember, if you have a bad day, you may want to start being upfront and honest in your relationships. I hope that this bill goes away. This is your guy, Mr. Educator, Mr. Communicator, Mr. Free Thinker. Subscribe, share, and like so that I can keep rocking on the mic. You all have a good night.